On my journey to building a better looking body and getting more jacked, I've tried every single possible thing in order to do it faster, quicker, better, be more efficient, except steroids. And in the beginning, it's always the basic stuff like, protein intake, sleep, training with optimal volume, progressive overload. Then it started getting more hormonal stuff like lowering the estrogen, prolactin, increasing testosterone, stuff like that. And I was always optimizing so hard these metrics that were on paper. But one thing that really improved my look tremendously forever, and also improved my social life and dating life and generally overall happiness, but mainly getting more jacked, right? This is what the video is about, is just talking to people in the gym. Before I was always a person who wears headphones in the gym. First of all, I used to wear those just to go inside of the ear, like AirPods. And then I got the actual overhead, like wireless headphones. And I would just, as soon as I go to the gym, I would put them on. Sometimes I would get into the gym with headphones and I would play rock music, metal music, like blast Metallica for 2 hours and just do my workout. Didn't make eye contact with anybody, didn't really hang out with anybody. It was just me, myself, and I, kind of lone wolf stuff, isolated, doing my lifts. And that's okay, I made progress, but one day that changed because I was just kind of thinking about how I look after 4 years of training, look kind of average. And I was looking around with these people in the gym and I seen these two guys who are really jacked and shredded and they look really cool. One of them has a lot of tattoos, the other guy is really social. And I'm like, they're in the gym at the same time as I am. They're doing similar exercises as I am, but they're just so much more like joyful about it and they enjoy it more and they have so many more friends and they look so much better than me. Like, what's wrong? I'm locking in, I'm not talking to anybody just so I can be more efficient, and they're talking to everybody and they're having better results. Like, what's this all about? And so I started, kind of spying on them in the gym, like what are they doing, what are they training? And after a while I just decided, what, fuck it, I'm gonna do the same thing they do, which is just make eye contact with a lot of people in the gym, ask for a spot, try to give people a spot, offer spotting somebody, compliment people in the gym, just generally asking people for advice, to record you, everything. And I started doing that and I realized after like half a year to a year, I made so much more progress, and it's because of two main reasons that you can also apply and you're gonna get much better results as well. The first reason I'd say is because I removed my blind spots. When you're in your own bubble and you're getting some sort of information input from YouTube or wherever you're learning about fitness and nutrition, and you don't have somebody else to tell you, hey, this is wrong, hey, that's right. And I remember specifically this one situation where it kind of opened my eyes, and I was so against taking this advice, you wouldn't believe it. I was fighting for it. Alex Ramosi has a quote. He says, what does it say? It says, I'm butchering it, but basically it says, we're willing to change whatever it is in life that we need to change, except for the things that we would benefit changing the most, because we believe in them the most. Anyway, this guy, the most social guy that I was kind of looking up to, he was looking at me doing my incline dumbbell press. And I was always doing them with really tucked in elbows because I watched YouTube videos and it said you shouldn't go all the way here because it hurts your shoulders. And I took that advice, and for years I was doing incline bench press like this, and my chest was mid and my arms were much bigger because I wasn't doing much chest here. It's mostly triceps, and I didn't realize it. It was just normal form to me. And he was like, dude, spread out your elbows a bit more, he told me. And I was hanging out with him a few sessions and he's like, bro, spread out your elbows. And I'm like, no, bro, that's gonna hurt my shoulders. He's like, bro, stop this BS. Every single powerlifter and person who trains in the gym for a long time does more elbow flare on the bench press. You're way too tucked in. And I was so against it, and I'm like, he was so adamant about showing me how to do it properly. if he wasn't so insisting, I probably wouldn't change it at all. And so he showed me how to do it. He did it himself. I recorded him, then he recorded me, and then he kind of, as I was doing it, he kind of pulled my elbows a bit back. And for a few sessions, I was like, no, fuck him. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Anyway, he's so much older than me. That's why he's more jacked. And just, I over time started seeing that that is actually the proper way to do it. Fuck. There's birds flying all over me. I started seeing that it is actually the right way to do it. And I started implementing it. I started actually doing the proper form. I started spreading out my elbows, and I started talking to him more, and I started hanging out with him outside of the gym. And he kind of brought up some of my blind spots. He saw what I was doing wrong, maybe my programs. He's like, bro, you're always training arms when I see you. And I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, my arms are so big, and I train them all the time, but it's like the rest of my body isn't as big. So it's just kind of, he brought up some things that I was blind to from just seeing them so repetitively. That's the first thing. And the second thing that really changed was I got, how do you say it? More responsible and more accountable to going to the gym, because now I had all these friends in the gym that you go in the usual time that I go. And if I don't come in that time, they're gonna be like, oh bro, what happened? You missed the session. Was it something important? What happened? Is everything okay? And it was so weird because there was so much accountability there that, you know, people today, and I see people in the gym today, anyway, any gym I go to, people who are the least social and that lock in the most, skip the most sessions because they're like, oh, what, I couldn't make it because of work, I was tired, you know, I had to pick up my aunt from her birthday or whatever the fuck. And they're like making all these excuses. And if I even have excuses, I'm still gonna be in the gym because I don't wanna be seen as the guy who skips, the guy who's lazy, the guy who's failing, right? I wanna be the guy, I wanna be seen as the guy who comes in all the time and tries his best. And that's gonna be always when I'm just being consistent. And so the key to consistency really is talking to people and making friends in the gym, because you both have the same interest and you start hanging out outside of the gym as well. Of course, don't befriend some lazy people in the gym. Some dogs are coming, they're probably gonna kick over the tripod right now. But yeah, basically stay as consistent as possible by befriending people in the gym. That's gonna be literally such a life hack. For me, it's been such a life hack, because now if I don't come, it's like I'm not letting myself down, I'm letting down all of my friends and all the people I know in the gym, because they're like, oh, this guy just sort of comes in sometime and he's not really serious. So it just kind of adds this additional layer of responsibility and seriousness to the whole thing. So yeah, man, I hope that helps. Hope you learned something. If you want to see more of me, follow me here, and you have my Instagram also in the bio, I'll put it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed there. Bye-bye.